It was taken.
So did you find it?
Yeah, I found it.
All right, and then back to the Krupp
I want
cops.
to see if there's anything.
Krupp cop, most likely he's shot service dogs and burned down recent apartments with Molotov cocktails. We're going the wrong way. We're going towards Lockheed, where they make the nuclear bomb. Yes, we are. Very good, Peter Linkage. Peter Dinklage. Look at this right here. It's a boat.
Should we just park so you can put this on?
So whenever it floods, we can swim away. It'll be part of the Rib series, but not part of Shepherds of Alaska, which is a part within the book series, which is all a novel. Novel basically just means fiction, but with some real elements, with some realism. A novel is fiction with some realism, but a book can be within a novel, just like a part can be within a novel, just like a chapter can be a part of a novel. I learned that from from The Stand. There are 2 books in The Stand. The Stand is considered a novel, and there are 2 books within The Stand. Book 1 and Book 2. There's also several parts.
There's no paper back there.
You're just going to have to suffer it and breathe through. We're going to go to where Silver... Is it called what? Silver what?
Silverchair.
No, Silverchair's a band.
It's right by a skating rink.
Yeah. Silverchair is a band.
It's really cool.
You gotta wait, fat boy! Well, fat boy, you gonna wait till tomorrow. That's Silverchair. This is Silver something else. Holy Snell. I thought they turned it into KK Cafe. They're part of it. It's called Silver Wheel. It's right there. It's where Linda almost died from a Jello shot that was probably they had methamphetamine in it. She passed out. Her heart was beating like crazy. They gave her a weird Jello shot. I had to follow her in an ambulance. And we have it all on private, don't we, Linda? Yeah, it's under private. Some people have seen it, some people haven't. She almost died at the ER in Harris Hospital. She was rushed with an ambulance there. Well, they went pretty smooth. They didn't go that fast, but they stabilized her in the ambulance, and then they put her into the ER. And she was, how many times over the limit?
8 times.
You can't be 8 times over the limit. She was, though.
0.08.
White Settlement Road.
It was 0.6.
Over. That's the spirit of the police. That's true. The police will have spirits in this. Yeah, they do. We all do. No one dies. No one dies. We live forever. We either go to heaven or hell.
It burnt me.
Depends on the...
I told you to fucking park.
What did you do with it?
It's flying out the damn window.
How do I know? Where is it?
There it is.
Where?
Out the window.
No one dies in life and afterlife. Everyone lives forever. You have to make a choice. Do you want to go to heaven or hell? You have to make that choice. We are immortal. So just think of vampires, only spiritually. We are immortal, and blood is part of it. But the blood of the Lamb is forever, and Christ is in flesh form. Yes, he is. Sitting next to Jehovah. He sits at the right-hand side of God, and he's in flesh. He's there in flesh. And it's to remind us what he did for us when we go to the spirit world. We will see him, and what will we be worshiping for all of time? The flesh of Jesus Christ. We will be looking back at flesh when we see him, and we will worship and sing in heaven for all of time. We will be called back. We will return and be given new bodies to fight a war. We'll fight after Armageddon, and we'll come back with Christ in flesh form. And this is in Revelations. We come back in flesh form as an army. Very similar to Rib, but it's a spiritual army. And Israel will be in the sky. Jerusalem will be in the sky. It literally will be floating in the sky. Now, it says so in the Bible. The New Jerusalem is in the sky. That's what Daniel Johnston said. And that's what it says in the Bible. The New Jerusalem will be in the sky. The reason why is because they don't want to suffer what people want them. They don't want to be killed anymore. So they'll be floating in the sky. And that's when the major conversion will happen. Now, the ones that are part of the army of God will already be converted. Okay, so some will sleep the sleep, and some will be awake during the great sleep. The great sleep is the Revelations. And the great sleep is what happens during the Revelations. Those that are already asleep will wake up. Those that have not gone to sleep will experience it. And they will see the war. And they will choose the chip that's in them. And there's a way to get rid of it. They have a way of doing it. Or they can keep the chip and go to hell. Now, the chip is a slang version for the sign of Nero, which they also call 666, which is not really a number. It's not the number of Nero. It only means blank, blank, blank. The 666 meant X, XXX. It meant an imaginary number that they didn't know. They didn't know the number of Nero. That number will be put into all of those that will go to hell. They'll get everything that they want in life as long as they have that chip. But at that time, when the Messiah returns, they can give it up and they can turn their life over to the one and only Messiah. But they have to get rid of the chip. And he'll put them through baptism of fire. And they will go beyond the New Jerusalem into the heavens where there are no nations. And the streets are lined with gold. There are mansions and angels. And you will be there, one with God, singing and worshiping for all time. Even Peter Dinklage, if he gives up the chip. If he has it, because the chip is coming soon. That's a sign of it. It's a version of the chip. The C-130, it can go through anything. Those things can barely, they can take a surface air missile and still survive. The C-130 can hold about 100 paratroopers. It's maritime patrol as well as a gunship. It can go out in the ocean and it can find someone in the middle of the ocean on a raft. They can fly low enough to do that. They're pretty quiet, but they have turboprop propellers. And they can parachute. They can have parachuters on it that jump off. We'll probably use one in the Shepherds of Alaska to get the people that we need. Welcome to Rib, and welcome to the Please Subscribe Show. Pretty good show, huh?